Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach. Rough day today. It's a pretty long train ride back when you get done by the Blues at 3:20 on a Sunday and you're back into work tomorrow. Not much fun, but I've had it pretty good. I mean, I was at the Adelaide game in Gather Round. Amazing win. At Easter Monday, amazing win. Kind of ironic of that stretch of games, the one you would have been most favoured for was the Blues. And they did us today. So, frustrating one. I must admit, when Smith banged through that one in the last quarter, whenever it was, I thought, we're bloody on here. Cats are coming back, but it wasn't to be. I feel like, it's very much we're out of rhythm here the last few weeks, like with Gather Round and Easter Monday, and I've been on camp, so it'll be nice to just get back into a bit of business as usual here with a bit more normality in the fixture. We'll be back live on Wednesday as normal this week. And we'll take a look at my side now, and I get the sense that we're going to drop in the rankings again, which isn't great because there's not too much further to fall. But I just think the last 2 weeks, I missed on Dacos's 170. You're playing catch-up. I miss on Gawn, not just the 170, but the VC. So frustrating. So I just feel like those key movers, if you're not on board those, you just find yourself behind, and I just feel like I'm behind the pack. I'm happy with how the team's coming along overall. There's a couple of concerns, but I'll have a look at the side and then walk you through a bit of my plan. And I feel like a few guys, like I've got the cash generation there. I feel like a few players are coming to a decent range that I'll be able to get a hold of. But rankings wise, fantastic. Yep, just logged me out. That's how bad I'm going. It's actually logged me out. That's just fantastic, that is. Here we go. Yeah. So we went down. 2,321. Which is probably not a bad score without 350 points from your captain. I only got 250. At least we won our draft leagues. That's good. Tell you what, I'm not even sure we're going to be able to get Zach Butters. I don't know if we're going to be able to get him. And Bontempelli scores 130 off about 3/4 of footy. And this back line it's starting to piss me off as well. So Sheasel was back. We love that. But Holmes was well down today. Well down. And Bailey Dale. Mate, I had a 50-50 call with Nasai Wanganeen Miller and him. And I went him. And he's been pathetic. So... and even like Tom Stewart, I feel like I was really talking him up as an inclusion, but he just doesn't. Like Lawson Humphries is providing a bit more drive. I don't know what he scored. He probably 90 plus, but 67. Jesus, he was on 40 something at half time. So Tom Stewart, not even an option. Not even an option. Trainer was solid. The Swans boys kicked in nicely. Bice and Roberts going very well, but Holmes is. He's all duck or no dinner, mate. He's either giving me captaincy scores or sub 80 at the moment, which, overall, the average of 101, it's okay. We'd probably want 105 plus, but the last 2 weeks, an 80 and a 70, not good enough. In amongst that, 147, 127, and 125. We need more than that. And Bailey Dale, you're really annoying me. Really annoying me. You were trash for the first half last week and salvaged with a big second half, scoring 70 to get you way to 90. But I bought him in off this first month. Oh, come on, man. It's a cruel game sometimes. Anyway, the rest of my side. Dacos was in. Sarong was solid. Will Ashcroft had a lot of the footy. Probably thought he'd score a bit better. And my boy LDU, he finally came back with a good score. Still didn't use the footy fantastically, but I tell you what, we'll take a 114. Riley Sanders, 56. God, for a doggies win. Jesus, any of my dogs want to play well? Far out. Watching the game, I felt like he had a bit of the ball. As you can tell, I don't always cover the scores off heaps throughout the week because it tends to just annoy me. But yeah, so not many marks. Again, few handballs, but that's sort of what he's done. So his lowest score of the year is going to see him certainly come out of the side pretty soon. Up to 400k. So yeah, he can certainly move on. Lawler can certainly move on. His break-even's going to be pretty high now. So yeah, he's been okay. He's been okay. Not great. Probably wanted more. He's made a touch over 100k. I don't think that's updated, but... And then Marek, he's going very nicely, 87. And Levi Ashcroft, solid. Tommy DeConing, 135. Tristan Cherry, back in business, baby. Great to see that, because there was a stretch there where he was scoring 80s and 90s, and people were like, oh, I don't know. His last 2 weeks have been huge. Fantastic stuff. Horn Francis, big. Rankin, really good. We love that. Bailey Smith, fantastic. McRae, a bit off, but some people have been like, oh, is he a trade? Is he a trade? Same with Caleb Daniel. Oh, is it a trade? No, it's not. Like, these guys are still averaging. Clearly, McRae's not a trade, but even Caleb Daniel, a bit quieter. I feel like North Melbourne are a bit concerned with his output just as a footballer, but until there's real concerns, let's not lose our minds. And Hewitt was pretty solid. I'll take a 65. 89 from Cleary is good, because he certainly disappointed us on his arrival at the side. And I feel like Matt Flynn played well. I skipped through a bit of the KO replay. I want to see 85 plus here. Oh, mummy. Oh, shit. 105. Let's go, Matthew. Oh, shit. I did not know that was coming. Look, I was just watching on, and they were saying how Meek probably won. But as I was watching, he was like getting a lot of footy, tackling hard. So we like that. I've been avoiding the leagues, mate, because I've been losing so much. But let's have a look. How much? Oh, God. 2 head-to-head wins. Fuck, what a treat this is. I'm just going to scroll through. So if you beat Shorty, congrats. It's not that much of a feat at this point. 6 points. Come on, Benny boy. That's just harsh. Give Shorty a win. 2,500, 2,500, 2,400. Gosh, 2,500. Fantastic. Oh, and then, yep. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, fantastic. So I maintain the belief that I can still finish in the top 5K. Okay? I'm maintaining that. And I didn't even mention Connor O'Sullivan and Zach Reid, who were fantastic. So this is what gives me hope. O'Sullivan, Reid, Bice, Marek. Lawler's been okay. Sanders has had a decent response. Ashcroft, bit of a lower score, but still, he's at 350. Cleary, an 89. Hewitt, a 97 and a 65. Flynn, making cash. What gives Shorty some hope is that we are making some cash. I feel like floating at a decent price is Zach Merritt. Drops to 586 at an 89. Jack Sinclair, I'm happy to pick off soon. He's going to tumble in price. Another one I'd really like to have a look at is Noah Anderson and Chad Warner. And I'm not sure what they did today. We're going to slow reveal it here on the screen. I'm just going to cover some of this up. What's he had possession-wise? Only 21. No goals. Jeez, so he hasn't scored well. They came back and won, but I know Rowell was struggling too. I thought Rowell was copping the tech. 21 touches for Anderson is extremely low. What did... so Rowell's busted out just a 69, which is good for some and not so for others. But what else have we got? Chad Warner. Now, I feel like a lot of the talk will be like, do we have to get in Christian Petrarca? I've been a big advocate for the Chad. I was on the train while this game was playing. What's he had? 24 touches, 20 kicks, 2 goals. That normally means a ton for him. By the way, I'm covering my screen if you just don't think. And he has 120. He's 120'd. All right, Chad, you might be an inclusion, mate. You might be an inclusion. So he's actually hit his break even. Jeez, it's tough. It is a tough call. It's really Petrarca versus Warner. And I don't know why, but my gut says Warner. He's slightly cheaper. He's had 3 tons for the year, a 54 from half a game against North. And I don't know, there's something about, all right, track beat up on a really poor Richmond, but I don't know. Sam Flanders, I've been singing his praises. The role's really changed a bit. What did he do? Yeah, I don't know if it's it. Don't know if he's the guy anymore. Have these updated. So what did Track have? They would have updated. So against the Tigers, fair bit of centre bounce time. So it looks like he has moved back in the middle, which is promising. Makes him pretty interesting. But so is Warner. Really, James Jordan tagging in the centre square has gone out. That's very interesting. I'm leaning towards Warner, I must admit. Nick Martin would have frustrated a few too. I've got to do my votes as well. Shorty's MVP. What have we got? Sheasel puts himself in the race. Again, Cherry has to be in the race. Roberts has been solid. De Koning has to be in the mix. Flynn's been good. Marek has been good. There's a few votes here. Look, in terms of most valuable, probably should have looked at this before I actually did it. I feel like De Koning 135 is solid, but look, Cherry has to be. I mean, you can't really sneeze at a 160. I feel like he has to get the 3. I mean, 160 is pretty huge. He's bounced back really well. But then there are some good contributors. You know, I almost feel like Flynn 105 is impressive because I don't always want to just give it to the highest scorers. I want to be like, what's really given this team and my side some value. I almost feel like Sheasel, you know, a few people jumping off him, and he's really been. And I also don't want to just give it to guys who have been crap and then bounce back. Like, and then how do you assess a rookie versus someone like Cherry? You know, like Riley Bice, 101. It's pretty damn impressive. So, I think even Smith, but Smith's very popular. Rankin was good, so I won't. 111 for Horn France is not going to do it. Rankin's in there, Cherry's in there. Dacos 125 doesn't qualify for him. Rankin, Cherry, Flynn, Sheasel. As not look, Marek is good, but I feel like an 87. You know, he's been very consistent. Sheasel, Bice, Cherry, Rankin, Flynn. That is a bit of a tricky one to do. I did have it. Shorty's MVP. 3 to Cherry, for sure. I feel like, am I being a bit harsh on De Koning as well? I feel like Riley Bice, you know, for a guy at that price, he needs to get a vote. Matt Flynn. Am I being harsh on Sheasel and De Koning? The thing is, everyone has De Koning now. Although a few were jumping off him because they were going down to Flynn. I think in future I'll do these votes before I jump on. Because sometimes it's... Oh no, he's already in there. So where's Cherry? Bang. So he gets the 3 votes. So he moves up to equal leader. And I do feel like Sheasel, a 135, has to be respected. Riley Bice is going to be stiff here. He's going to be stiff. Because as good as he was, people were jumping off De Koning. People were jumping off Sheasel. They both scored 135s. It's hard to sort of quantify who should get more, but I'm going to give Sheasel the 2. Just because I feel like he's been one I've been holding. It's finally repaid, and DK is going to keep the lead here on 7 votes, getting the 1 vote there. So, but back to actual SuperCoach. I feel like Warner is just about a must inclusion. So I think Lawler goes and Sanders goes. And then they're the only ones that really probably have to go. I know Dale's frustrating, Holmes is frustrating, but I want to build around these guys. And if these guys are still an issue by round 12 or 13, then we'll deal with it. But premiums more often than not do respond. So if we were going to go that, and look, in terms of getting Butters and Bontempelli, I just don't feel like I can. I could just go all out and launch at a guy at 690 and 680. I could do that, but it throws things out dramatically. Like, it might stop me from... Yeah, they're the ones to get, but at some stage they will score at least a 90, or they'll have a bit of a tough game and score an 85. They will drop, and maybe getting them at 620 or 630 is going to be the bargain, but I just can't purchase him at 690. So, look, what we could do is throw Kako there, and we could go Warner, who looked to have found some form. And then available cash is 390. So that's not stacks, is it? Because, yeah, I don't have stacks in the bank. 138. So, yeah, pretty much if we went up Lawler to Warner, it's kind of it's using most of it. So I'll have to have a bit of a look. The other option, could be if I found a downgrade somewhere else. I don't know if there's any. I wonder how Carroll went today. Felt like Carroll was quiet. I ended up not going with him, so obviously I'm kind of hoping he was quiet. Had a couple of kicks. He's solid. 54. I'll have to have a look at some of the break-evens and see. I'll have to get back to you on a bit of this. But, yeah, if there is a rookie that really is saying you've got to pick me, then I might have to snap him up. Oscar McDonald, what the hell? Who would have thought he'd be a guy that would creep into our... What did Huswaite do? So, yeah, you don't want to miss any rookies. I've been big on that. Yeah, he scored 85, but he's not one, but 72 from Huswaite, so that's interesting because he is sort of replacing Nash at the moment. Had 24, right. So he might be one. And then you've got Jed Buslinger as well. So potentially I only do one trade this week. And I couldn't go Lawler to Warner. It'd have to be Sanders to Warner. Yeah, we're going to have a bit of a think on it because there are a few guys still making me money as rookies, and there are a few guys, I really like my chances of getting Whitfield, of getting Anderson and Merritt, and I know they're not the Butters and Bonts, etc., but if I can pick up a couple of guys, because we can't pay $625 for everyone. At some stage, you've got to pick off a guy a little bit cheaper. I feel like Luke Ryan's not the guy either anymore. I feel like Jordan Clark's really overtaken him. And he's definitely not the guy. So, look, there's a few things to think about. I'm not 100% sure. If you've got any ideas, let me know. I feel like eventually Will Ashcroft probably moves on too. He's probably not, he's a placeholder for now. Could be Ashcroft too. Butters, in 3 to 4 weeks. Hopefully Butters, ditches that 43 and Butters maybe throws in a quieter one. But, look, let me know what you think. I'll be back Wednesday for my live. And, we'll chat some SuperCoach then. Cheers.